Here we go. G'day guys, we are back, and today we are doing some small little touch-ups on this one. Just some small bits and pieces. Bits that I want to find, bits that I haven't found yet. Just a little touch-up. That's what we need. Just around there. Hey Cobb, how you doing? It has been an absolute pleasure seeing your name recently, Cobb. I've seen you over and over again, and it's very exciting. Let's just get some of this in there. There we go. Perfect. Hey Victoria, how you doing? G'day guys. We are just doing the last few bits and pieces on this one. A bit more tan to highlight a few of those areas. Around these little spots. A little bit in here and a little bit over here. How have you been? Did you finish the surfboard? That is a great question. The surfboard's not quite finished yet. I need to hit it up with some more pink hibiscus colors, some wilderness, some wild stuff. It needs more and more. You'd be surprised at the amount of pink that board's going to need. It's going to need load after load after load after load. So pretty excited to see where we get to with that one. But probably another two layers on the surfboard should get us to where we need to be. I'm sorry, Barnaby. He does. But we're also training him to not always to want to throw the ball. Maybe just chill out every now and again. It's pretty tough in front of the TV at times when you're relaxing and he's just got his head right there in your face, demanding that the ball be thrown. Some days be like that. It seems like at times we fight, Lord ain't right. Dun, dun, dun. Good morning, Daniel. Yeah, Victoria, we got Barnaby again today. I was going to be on earlier today, but the rain wouldn't let me. So I tried to get a few little spots, tried to get out here, tried to have some fun. But every time I tried, weirdly enough, the rain set in and said, no, Seb, you are not going outside. So I did some other stuff. I sent an email out. If you don't get emails, guys, I suggest you get emails because, sorry, just changing that a little bit so I can see, because I send out emails every now and again, not all the time, just some of the time, but the emails go out to everyone, and on the emails it just has a bunch of fun stuff. In this case there was an important announcement, but I can't tell you what that is unless you're on the emailing list, because that's part of the fun. Yeah. Barnaby. Well, I can't tell you what it is for another 12 hours. 12 hours, then I can tell you what's going on. Seems like... Oh, and I'll post it in the mod chat, even though I said to the emailers I wouldn't, but I feel like you guys should know. I think that's fair. I feel like that's fair. There we go. But it's a development we've been talking about a lot, and it's just come in to fruition. I had a meeting this morning, New Zealand time, at 4 a.m. So I met with these guys at 4 a.m. and got an important project ticked off. So that was really exciting. Good to get it done. not done. Good to get it up and running. Seems like at times we fight. I know. Lord ain't right. Did I see Mike's name there? Hello, Mike. Oh, fantastic. You received the email? Cool beans. I put a lot of heart and soul into that email, so I hope you enjoyed it. I like to take the time to write. They have a whole bunch of fancy email templates you can use. I need to get into... Oh, yes, Cobb, I will get you sorted. Mental note made. As soon as I finish this live, that is on the agenda. That is long overdue too, Cobb. I'm very, very sorry. I will fix this. Trust in me, I will fix this, and excuse my tardiness. Bit of soda water. Yes, 100%. Yo, what up, Seb? I'm doing good. Oh, this is Auckland. Cheers, Cobb. This is Auckland, and in Auckland, I'm currently painting a lovely landscape of Santa Fe. Barnaby's here helping me, bit by bit, and we're just adding in a few tan colours. A few tans, and trying to capture some of that wild energy of Santa Fe. Currently, I've got some luminescent gold that I'm adding in. Times we fight, oh, it ain't right. There we go. Beautiful. How do we sign up for email? That's a great question. If you go on the website, which I make that sound so obvious, the website's, that's so cute. I look like Vegeta from, g'day Mike, how you doing? I look like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. So just quickly, if you go on the website, you can sign up for the emails, but for the next 12 hours, I think I sent it out just before. If you missed the announcement, that's all good. Sign up for the emails and just message me and I'll tell you what it was. But otherwise, just wait 12 hours and everyone's going to hear it. Or if you're in the mod chat, I'll let you know real soon. Or if you're in the subscriber Discord, all these people get the announcement early. And it's just a regular announcement. It's pretty exciting. It's big news. But it's regular news. But it's just me testing out the avenues for how I deliver news, because I want you guys to know important stuff when it happens. And it's sort of cool to have a little place where we can do little announcements. So I think that's fun. Where do I live? I live in Auckland. Traffic's a little bit niggly, guys. If you've been to New Zealand, Auckland isn't a massively populated city, about 1.6 million people. But the thing about Auckland is that it hasn't quite got, it's no one's fault, but it hasn't quite got the transport, the big roads or ability to move cars that maybe other cities have. So you can get stuck in traffic jams. I'm a farmer. I come from a farming family, I wasn't raised with traffic. It's niggly. I don't like it. And the thing I hate most about it is you don't get stuck in traffic. You are the traffic. And I hate being in the middle of a problem knowing that I'm part of the problem. And there's nothing I can do about it. How have I been to Santa Fe in New Mexico? I've been once, but not to this exact spot. This spot is fresh. I'm sorry, Barney. Yes, 100%. That was way too long. Here we go. Wow. I went once. It wasn't to this spot, but you know what? I have to get Chad to send me a geolocation for this spot, because when I go to America, hopefully next year, I'd like to stand on the spot, and I sort of want to go around a few of the landscapes, Montana on the list too, and actually stop in the spot and take photos of where it is, post on the story and whatnot, but also just for me to actually be like, hey, this is the thing that we painted back in 2023. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the rain. The rain's coming. I can hear it coming down now. We're under a shelter, but we have rain. This whole week's rainy, so we're doing bad. Oh, I forgot to say, guys. How's the Wi-Fi? Lol, not heavily populated. My town, woo, 5,000 people. My high school had 1.4 thousand. So your town's the size of just a little more than 3 of my high schools. At times we fight, Lord ain't right. There we go. Beautiful. And I should have bought you flowers. Should have held your hand. And I should have bought you flowers. Should have held your hand. Should have give you all my loving when I had the chance. Montana, no, Florida, man. No. I mean, I would love to visit Florida. I haven't done a picture from Florida yet. I was meaning Montana, the treasure state, because we did a painting of the treasure state recently, and I fell in love. And so I want to go back there and see that particular location that we painted and just get a vibe for what he saw when he was on his horse. And you know, he was motivated enough to contact me for a commission of that area. So I'm motivated enough to go to that area and feel the magic he felt. I think that's fair. Yeah, Barnaby's a good dog. Thank you, Barnaby. You're a good dog. All right, come on. Wow. All Barnaby ever cares about is fetch. And I tell you what, wow, 4,000 Victoria. That's a big population. I will say this though. I would give Barnaby a hug, but Barnaby's a little bit wet right now. Barnaby's been outside in the rain today, so we'll throw Barnaby's ball, but hugs are off limits until Barnaby dries out. So I was going to say, one thing that dog taught me, and only a dog can teach you this, is that we all value things differently. And for Barnaby, there's nothing Barnaby values more than this rubber ball. This rubber ball being thrown for him by someone is a really special thing for him. And there's nothing I can do to the surface of this painting to make it remotely as valuable as that ball is to Barnaby. And in that same way, we can find value in a 2D surface like this with paint on it. And it's really interesting that we do that, but the fun thing about that is I think it's the journey we go on and the experiences we have that actually build us towards seeing value in something like this. Maybe not this specific piece of art, but a piece of art, maybe a rock, maybe a sculpture, maybe a necklace. But we're able to find more value in something because of the journey we've been on. And so the reason why that's important, or why I'd even bother saying it in the first place, is that it means that your particular journey will mean that you'll find value in different things than other people. So when you like something, don't be afraid and don't be ashamed. Don't judge your taste. Actually, trust yourself and think to yourself, my personal journey that I've been on in my life means that I can see that and fall in love with that. And that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, whether that's art or people, people's a big one too. A lot of the time, I've got a mosquito bite right here on my neck, so I keep scratching here. That's what's going on. So, when it comes to people, especially romantically as well, we're taught so much to just keep looking for better, looking for better, looking for better. It's not about always looking for better. It's about understanding when you've actually fallen in love or when you've fallen for someone and letting yourself be happy. This world will teach you to not be content. But in the same way you can look at a painting and constantly see room for improvement, you can look at the same painting and see perfection. Now, I'm not telling you to settle. Never settle. Obviously never settle. But when you find something that you believe is perfect, hold on to it and pursue it with reckless abandon, because that's beautiful. And so when you do go into a store, especially like an art gallery or something, or if you see something somewhere that you love, don't be afraid to like it, to put it on your wall and to love it. And don't be afraid that not everyone will agree with you. Your taste is your taste. Hello, Pink. Good to see you, by the way, Pink. I'd say a long time no see, but it's been like 12 hours, right? Don't feel too sorry for Barnaby either, guys. Barnaby's had the ball thrown for him all day, and he's getting extra throws right now. He knows he's on borrowed time. Barnaby's a very spoiled dog today. Imagine all the people. I'm just gonna grab some red. Just gonna grab some red. Just a teeny tiny bit. I don't often do this, but today's a special day. We're gonna splice some colours. Usually I use the colours straight from the tube. That's my go-to. But sometimes I'll splice a colour to make just what I need, and in this case we're going for like a vermilion salmon orangey cross. It's not conventional, but it's going to work for us in all the fantastic ways we need it to. In all the fantastic ways we need it to. Bow, bow, bow. Wanna bow, bow, bow. There we go, that improved it right away. We did a wrong brush stroke, immediately hit it with another one and just corrected it immediately. That's what you hang out for. That's like playing a ball game and fumbling the ball, diving for it and hitting it in the right direction and it coming right. That's what just happened there, but in the form of paint. So, let's have a look-see here. Oh, thanks for the hat and mustache, Vernon. Appreciate you. You know, one day, and it's fast approaching, I'm losing my hair hand over fist, guys. In the next 5 years, this won't be here, but I'll probably grow a big mustache. So prepare that when I'm going into my late 30s, bald head, big mustache. Yeah, you'll be looking at a very, very different looking guy. But I'll own it. It'll be like one of those big Western mustaches. Like the one you keep putting on me with the hat and mustache. And it's funny that you're doing that, because every time you do that, it's sort of like a foreshadow for what I'm going to be in the future. So, that's wild. You want it? Barnaby, don't assume. The ball's going to go this way. Oh, I wouldn't do that to you. I'll go halfway so you start to realise. Good catch. You wait, Victoria. You'll see it. You'll be like, oh God, he actually does it. Oh God, he actually did it. And no one will be more horrified than Shelby. She'll be like, oh my Lord. When I met you, you had such a lovely head of hair. And now you've got a filthy handlebar mustache. And no one's more proud of it than myself. See it happening. The future is bright. Splice a colour. You can splice liquid with brush texture. I don't understand what's been said there, but when I say splice a colour, I mean just mixing two colours together. So typically when I go to the art store, because there's an abundance of colours and pigments, I buy the exact colours I'm after. So all my tubes are the exact colours I want. Specific shades of turquoise, specific shades of yellow. Yellow I'm the most picky about. Vernon, that's exactly what it's going to look like, that there. But like a little more blonde, and I get some ginger hairs too, so that'll show up in there as well. Specific shade of yellows, really tough to find actually. Yellows are the most tough. We should do a video on that one day alone. You can talk about yellows for hours. Yellows were changing and evolving quite intensely when Van Gogh was doing the sunflower paintings. Quick fun fact, Van Gogh was using some quite breakthrough yellows early in his sunflower paintings, which turned out not to be perfect pigments, and they've been fading over time. So Van Gogh's sunflowers, which he only painted for about 4 hours a day, and the reason he did 4 hours a day is because the sunflowers would wilt and the light would change, And so what he would do is, use that specific window to paint the sunflowers with that specific colour of yellow, which has now started to fade in itself. So Van Gogh's sunflowers, for all his efforts, are now wilting. So the ones you'll see, which is sort of poetic, the ones you'll see on exhibition and photos and things, they are the ones that the colour's slowly going more brown and fading. They're trying to stop it, but this is the reality. This is what's happening. So honestly, the poetic nature of these flowers and their beautiful frozen moment of lively coloured nature to then slowly start to wilt over a series of decades and hundreds of years, it's sort of beautiful. And I reckon, I don't know, but maybe Van Gogh would have wanted that. I think that's sort of cool. Maybe. Mr. Barnaby, you have been oh so good. No, Barnaby, this way. There you go. Thanks, Vernon. Is this what you do in the shadows? Yes. Usually I love the daylight, guys. I love the sun. I love the vitamin D cascading over me, filling me with an abundance of energy. Free vitamins from the sun. How beautiful. But unfortunately that cannot be the case today because it's been raining all day. So I waited for a window, made emails, dabbled away in the house, waited for a window, made emails, dabbled away in the house, again and again, and it turned out that it wasn't going to open up for me. So what I did was I just decided we're painting at night time and we're doing it out here in this lovely little area. So here we are. We're having fun. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm in my casual clothes because I thought it's dark. I've got a really nice new shirt though, guys. So in the next few days, if you tune in, and I'm wearing a really nice looking, it's a pink shirt. It's, what is it? It's what colour pink would you call it? Let's just call it pink for now. But it is a fantastic shirt. It's so good that I'm going to start. I'm actually going to break my rule of just buying from the second-hand shops. I'm going to probably buy one more of these shirts because it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's been 1 week since we got to see Cheating lovers and cousins like Mary. 5 days since we got the show. Yesterday it had occurred to me I don't know enough lyrics to that song. Here we go. I mean, you know. Well, what I do think I'm coming to realise is this work is closer to being complete than I thought it was. I keep adding layers piece by piece, but you don't really, when you're in the motion, sort of like dribbling a ball towards a goal, you don't realise, maybe you do realise how close you are. I don't really see how close I am until I stop and stand back. And if you were watching the live yesterday, there was a realisation part where actually I took this one down and put the other one up. And when I did that, I thought, wow, actually, we're far more close to finishing this than I thought we were. But you've just got to keep giving it love, building it up bit by bit. You try and put timelines on these things. If there was a timeline, this one would be over it. But that's okay. It's not about that. It's about making sure that every piece that gets made, whether it's getting made in a studio, whether it's getting made by you recreationally as a hobby or whatever you might be doing, you've got to make sure that when you've finished it, you're proud of what you made. And the best way to do that is to enjoy making it, because you'll never regret things that you enjoyed while you were doing them. Authentically enjoyed, guys. Authentically enjoyed. I don't mean, I mean like in the moment, you felt fulfillment and happiness while you were doing it. And you won't regret that. Sometimes you look back on things and regret them. And this, probably in those cases, you might have changed a little bit as a person. Developed or regressed. Both are okay. At the end of the day, we're all just doing our best. All just doing our best. Where are we going to go next here? There's a bunch of small dots I need to grab. I'm going to do that with our greens. Mike, I'm going to read that comment in just a second. Once I've grabbed my permanent sap green. Permanent sap green is what I'm after. With a little bit of French aquamarine. You thought it was over for the French aquamarine, but it was not. Not at all. This is good to show our emotions and feeling create what we love and enjoy to do it. Exactly right. Exactly right. I've said it once, I'll say it again. I say it over and over again. I can't escape this, and I can escape this, but I can't stop thinking about this. You can get so caught up on what you want to happen that you lose sight of how to get there. Focus on the journey. Don't know where you're heading, but focus on the journey. Have fun while you're doing it. Don't get hung up on every little thing that's happening right in front of you right now. This is not important. The only thing that's important on the journey is that you enjoy yourself. Sounds so cheesy, but guys, the amount of times we hear cheesy things and we just rule them off and say, oh, well, that's cheesy. Let's not listen to that. No. If it's cheesy, it's probably true. If it's cheesy, it's probably more correct than anything else we've heard. So, personally, when I hear cheesy stuff, that's when I know. Give that some attention. Because usually cheesy means it was emotional in a way that someone needed to immediately discredit it so they wouldn't have to address how true it was. Not all the time. Some of the time. Oh, misty eye of the mountain below, keep careful watch, oh my brother sow. And if the sky be filled with fire and smoke, keep watching over you and the sun. And when the night is burning, I will cover my eyes. When the dark returns, then my brothers will die. The night's falling down into the white sound. I hear my people screaming now. I see fire inside of the mountain. I see fire burning in soul. There we go. Where else are we going? Let's look down here. Move on to our greens. Puppy is waiting. Yeah. Thanks, Daddy Ocean. There we go. A little bit of this in there. Get that one. There you go. Thanks, Mike. My attention is now with the puppy and not with the painting. Well, I'm glad, but I'm sorry I can't join you on that just because I need to keep adding layers to this. When the nights burn, cover my eyes. When the dark returns, my brothers will die. You hear that rain, guys? It's coming down. Alright, we're going to pause there. We're going to pause there on this one. Now, two things are going to happen. First off, we're going to swap the painting over. This one's going to come down. Achilles, 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 come down and out. Barnaby. He's too wet to come inside already, so we're just going to let him do his thing. Cool. Pausing that one. Lifting this up. I'll turn it around to face y'all. Show you where we're at. Oh, if that light doesn't jump on it. There we go. There. Cheers, Matt. Appreciate you. Okay, so looking at this painting, I'm not sure what definition you got. Oh, I'll get my head out of shot there. If you can see down this corner or not. But what we're trying to go for here is there's a massive amount of colours in this countryside of Santa Fe. And they all crisscross over each other. There should be a little bit of indication of the slight horizon line sort of cascading up the side here, slowly growing wider, and then sort of blending into the sky with that hill line. But more importantly than the hill line are these sort of, are they clouds? They look smoky, it's strange. They sort of start at the top of the spire and they sort of start cooling up. And they sort of branch out with more energy than the land does. And so if you look at it, there's more energy coming up this way than there is going across this way. Whereas our temptation is to actually look at the landscape here. I'll just show you it here. That's what we're working with. That's our landscape. And there we are there. So very, very definitive is this part here, this top spire, and this spire here. And then it will turn to these sort of deep, dark cuts. You can see those cuts coming through here. And then through here on this hillside, just as much attention as the spires, but it flattens out a wee bit, and there's these sudden spats of green, and those spats of greens and those bushes coming through. We've still kept that depth in here with the black, because actually that's the part where your eye wants to really feel like it's sinking back in to make those two spires pop more as well. Yeah. Fun. Super fun. Anyway, we're going to let that sit. Sit for a moment. See how we feel. Give me a moment just to steer it. I love it. I love it. This is cool. This is very cool. That is exactly. That is very, very fun. Right. Next one. Next one. But we'll see. We need to let the paint sit for a while. We need to let it sit for a while with the intentions of let it sit for a while with the intentions of just seeing how we feel about it after about 24 hours. I'm sure after 24 hours, or I have been sure in the past, that I'm going to spot things and that I want to change and fix and alter and, you know, all these sorts of things. But for now, we let it stop like that and let it rest. This is a really fun picture though, guys. I'm excited for this one. I mean, I'm excited for every picture, but this one here is different. This one here is, wow, elephants. Yeah, puppies. There actually is two puppies here. Two dogs. So Barnaby is 6 years old, and there's another dog called Chase. Now Chase is much older. Chase does not play fetch anymore. Chase's legs don't like the game fetch. Perfect. Now, elephants. Here we are. I know, Barnaby. I know. Let's check this here. Now I'm going to bring you forward a little bit, guys, because this detail is a little bit more intense on this one. Not a little bit more intense, but I need to bring you closer so you can understand, because we're going to do more cut lines in this one as we start. And I don't want you out there missing what's going on. I think that's fair enough. All right, Barnaby. You're a good dog. You know that. Let's grab this here. Throw this here. Now, for the first few wild colours, we're going to do something special. I'm going to come back in just a moment because I need more soda water. Wild. And then when I come back, I'm thinking greens. There's going to be lots of tans we shoot up through here. There's going to be some blacks. Greens, tans, blacks, and a teeny bit of blue. That's where I'm at. Let's see where that takes us. Now, I'm just going to check. Rain's coming straight down. We should be okay for now. Did you graduate from Arts University? I did a mixture of things. I did a whole mixture. I'll get back and tell you all about it. One moment. I see a comment there saying I literally didn't move the camera. That is a lie. I moved it about half a foot. So I brought you in just a little bit, but let's see here. Perfect. I think we can use the same brush. Throw the ball right now. That's fair enough. I agree. You're an art teacher yourself. Fantastic. I hope you love what you do. Look at this colours he's got on this canvas. Yes, colours are going to be a massive part of this because the picture itself does not have a whole lot of colour in it. We're not going to let that stop us. We're actually going to embellish those colours, strengthen those colours. We're going to use those colours in the form of saying, hey, let's just ignore the colours are there. Let's just change those hues, but make sure we keep those tones correct. So the elephants, their reflections in the skies all just pop, but we don't, go wild with the colour, but maintain a tone. That's going to be the most important thing about this picture. Lock that in. 6 o'clock? I think it is 6 o'clock. I think that's correct. Let me have a look-see. Now. This is the Zambezi River, by the way, guys. Oh, sorry, Barnaby. You okay, buddy? Here we go. You want the ball? Here we go. Up we go. Okay. For the first little bit of paint we put on this, I'm going to jump on Instagram as well. So, for all the questions, I'll read them out loud, and that way it won't matter where they come from, because it'll be the same. And honestly, it's easy to read the TikTok one, so we'll focus fire there regardless. But we are about to get going. Do I have an old style? Well, I do probably have an old style, actually. I'm like a grandpa in a 30-year-old's body. I like old music. I'm like that. But look, the style actually just tries to be honest. It tries to focus on the process. It tries to have fun while you do it. And it tries to represent the shapes and tones and colours we see and have fun doing it, rather than constructing what we think we should see. Trying to make ears, noses, mouths, water, trees. Let's not get caught up in that. Let's actually paint what we do see. Let's have fun with the shapes and the tones and the hues. That's where the style comes from. It's the fundamentals of this. It's more raw, more primal, and tries not to get caught up in it tries not to let a fake form of craft take over a raw form of expression. Put that on a shirt. It tries not to let a fake form of craft take over a raw form of expression. Is that a good way of saying it? How old are you? Oh, I read that one. Model walked off. Is it the dog? I don't know. Anyway, guys, here we go. He does have age. He's 30 years old. I turned 30 in January. What a thrill. It's exciting to be 30. It feels just like 29. And actually, I was calling myself 30 when I was 29 and 28. So technically, all things considered, you could safely say that I can call myself 29 for 2 years. Because I missed out on those 2 years while I was calling myself 30. That would make sense to me. I reckon that makes sense. Now, elephants. To recap what we are doing greens, a little bit of blues, a bunch of tans. What else have we got here? Some salmony orange colour, and like an orangey yellow with a bit of red that I'm splicing with it. And maybe if I'm feeling super frisky, we might even add in some gold. But like, ooh, it's high risk adding in those luminescent gold colours, because what happens with those colours is it does make it a little bit shimmery. And I'm not sure if I want too much of a shimmering effect. So we'll see where these colours take us. And if we enjoy where it takes us, we might just feel wild and go for it. Otherwise, we'll just chill. Here we go. If you missed it before, the dog's name is Barnaby. And the dog is 6 years old. Doesn't belong to me. Lovely dog though. Sorry, Barnaby. Yeah, you got a ball. I'm excited for you. Let's have a look-see here. Just through here. Now we're going to add in these beautiful greens. Now again, we're still in the early coats, and we're in the early coats. It's important we don't get hung up on trying to get things exactly right. These underlying coats want to have expression through them. Wild, crazy, belligerent, primal, emotive expression. And they're going to exist underneath more detailed work. It's going to have less of the compound that I use to make it transparent and what's the term? Transparent and glossy. And it's going to have more of just raw paint in it, because I want that raw colour onto the surface. If it looks like it's just on board, it's got a layer of transparent gesso already on it. Your boy is a big fan of transparent gesso. You're sitting down now, buddy. Oh, I don't think you are. You were pretty excited to see that ball get thrown again. Bear with me too, there's mosquitoes biting, but we're managing, we're dealing. Missed a few things there. But here we go. Now, I'm a little bit behind on Instagram comments, but if you do have a question, flick it on through. I will get round to you. I swear. But if you're after something like a commission, or if you are after anything else, there's a link in my bio, and you'll find everything you need. Everything you need. Chuck some of this around in here. Where else are we going to go? Sorry, Barnaby. I'm just going to focus on this. I'll give you one more throw, and then I need to focus on this green for a bit. I think that's fair. Barnaby didn't understand, but unfortunately he's going to have to tolerate. More green. Green's a trick right now. That's where we're going to. Here we go. Just down through here. Down through here. Coming on through here. Now we're talking to it. Now we're talking to it. Coming on down here. A little bit of green. The trick with water too, guys, is we can get hung up on thinking water needs to go sideways like this. And the issue with that is actually water goes in all directions. With the reflections coming down, most lines will actually be from top to bottom like this. And so we've got to make sure we don't just let the paintbrush go from side to side, as a temptation is with water. We let it go in all directions. And that'll properly represent the water. we're after. One fun way to do it too, if you want to get really blunt with it, not that I encourage that, but it's a little trick you can do. Reflections, vertical, and water, horizontal, and then you'll create a distinction and it'll just work. But look, I encourage you to not do that and just see colours and shapes. Water can be very daunting though, because the temptation to try and control what you're painting and make it look a certain way is abundant. And if you do that, you always end up with water looking pretty similar. So you don't want to do it. I want you to see and give in to the lack of control you have to the shimmering surface of water. Of course, you need to give up even more when it's in person. If you're looking at water in person, you're looking at a shimmering, crazy mess. And in terms of painting water live, I've got no advice. That is the Wild West. Fair enough, Barney. Let me hook you up. I'll put this down. Don't drink that. There we go. Up high. We're going to swap out this brush here. No, not on the paint tray. Come on, mate. You know how this game works. Oh, that was a bad try. Here we go. Up and over. He was going to put the ball in the water, in the paint tray, which is a disaster because then paint gets all through it. And it ruins the game for Barnaby because when paint gets on the ball, I have to take the ball away. We don't want this. Barnaby's having too much fun. I can't do that to poor old Barnaby. There we go. That comes through there. That cuts through there. We're still in the early stages of the painting, so what's really, really important at this stage is I don't get hung up on anything, but the one thing I do need to get hung up on is the fact that I need to keep the texture flat. Flat texture means I can do whatever I like in the later layers. Too much texture, and I've got no options. I'm cornered. Have to put lines in certain places. I'm beholden to certain forms, certain functions, certain thises and that's. But we're making good ground. Now, just quickly, if you're just joining us, this is our picture. Mindy, you're an absolute champion. Oops, sorry, there we go. This is our picture. It's elephants. They're crossing the Zambezi River. Zambezi. And they are in Zimbabwe. Two Z's, bunch of elephants, looking fantastic. And we're just going to start painting them bit by bit. There's a bit of blue in here. A bit of blue, crossed with a bit of tan. It's a murky colour. So a bit more chill to it than the other colours we've been using, and that's great. You're very, very patient, Barnaby. I'm very, very impressed. Barnaby's like, I don't understand a word he's saying, but you better throw this ball sooner, I'm going to flip out. If only he was thinking that. Probably is. If you take too long, Barnaby will bark, but it's not a mean bark, it's just him reminding you, hey, I'm here. I feel like we had an arrangement with this ball throwing and you stopped. Totally fair reaction. Here we go. Oh, ho, 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 yeah. Boom, ba, boom, 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 boom. Here we go. Now, occasionally this will cross over with the green, but that's okay. Because this tan doesn't mind a teeny bit of green in it. It won't be offensive. Actually make it look quite cool. So we'll make this work. We'll make this work. Ball, Barnaby, patience is a virtue. Well done, buddy. Now, one thing I noticed when we were last working on this picture yesterday is I got way too hung up in the realism of it. And you might be like, are you kidding? That was super abstract. It was, but actually I could see elephants, I could see water, I could see aspects of the result I was trying to get to. coming through. That's bad. Imagine with a building, if you could already see the paintwork and the end cladding and things coming through before the foundations are laid. This would be bad. And so with a painting, it's very, very similar to a building in that the starting thing you start with should not look like the result. It should look primal and crazy. Like with a building, you start with concrete on the floor. You start with metal posts, like poles coming up. You start with pouring concrete, laying bricks. Things very, very different to a perfectly painted home and, just the barbecue lid. To a perfectly painted home with glass windows and a fireplace. So in the same way, a painting wants to start with foundations that look nothing like the end result. And so when I looked at this painting yesterday, I looked at it and thought, actually, we've missed that. We've got too caught up on where we think we're heading that actually we'll never get there at this rate. And so we're stirring it up, we're changing it up. And hopefully, I can bring it to a place where I really feel we can make something pretty special. I know, Barnaby. You're a patient boy. There we go. Right, how are we doing? We're going to use a bit more of this colour. We'll probably use up all the tan. That can go in there like that. That can come down there like that. That can go there like that. Thank you. Anyone from New Zealand here? Is there anyone from New Zealand here? Well, me, I'm from New Zealand. I'm in Auckland right now. Is it worth the hype? There's hype? Honestly, guys, we are just here painting and making a picture of some elephants in the most wholesome of ways. If you don't like elephants or painting, you probably won't like the next 20 minutes. I can't guarantee that, but using my power of psychological analysis, your hate of elephants and paintings will not help you for the next 20 minutes. Include dogs in that too. Hello, LJ. Missed you before. Hope you're doing well. Barnaby will literally wait for hours on end for the ball to be thrown. He's had a huge amount of throws today, so please, please do not feel bad for Barnaby if I make him wait for about, 6 or 7 minutes while I'm painting here, because Barnaby has had so many throws today, it's not funny. If Barnaby could talk, it'd be like, hey. I don't think I've had that many throws. I think we could have done some more. But I certainly don't think you should be telling all the viewers that I've had so many throws. No, you wouldn't be like that, but here we go. A little bit. Alright, that was a good brush stroke. That is what we're waiting for. That is the sort of brush stroke that carries the team. We're just going to keep this colour coming down. Marine blues. After we throw the ball. Good on you, boy. Wow, there we go. Completely unrelated to art, but I've been watching a new show and I've fallen in love with it. It is called Shrinking. I would describe it as Forgetting Sarah Marshall, but it's 20 years on, the wife has passed away, and he has a daughter. And it wasn't Sarah Marshall, the wife was really cool. If you haven't seen it, Shrinking is on Apple Plus, and it's phenomenal. You will love it. It's with the same actor from Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and anyway, so he is in it, and one thing I love is when he met the island girl. She was the girl working at the hotel on the island. She was the most incredible person. Like, I reckon they should rename that movie. They should rename Forgetting Sarah Marshall to Forgot Sarah Marshall, because oh my god, like, I don't know what you guys were watching, but when that girl showed up on the scene in the hotel, Sarah Marshall, thing of the past. Oh my lord. She was just so cool. And he had a real problem with being a bit of a coward, and she helped him out with that. She threw him off a big cliff, which he almost got himself caught out on. She was quite scared for him, but the whole thing was quite compelling. Anyway, she was very cool. Now, if you're just joining in, the dog's name is Barnaby. Barnaby's 6 years old. Doesn't belong to me. But you know what? Barnaby's a real charmer, and Shelby owns Barnaby, and Shelby says Barnaby is the best looking golden retriever in the whole world. Kind of agree. Barnaby's a good looking golden retriever. Oh, there we go. Lord of the Rings, just thought you might want to know. I do love Lord of the Rings too. I love the cinematography. I love recognising the landscapes. I like the fact that a New Zealander directed it. I know that isn't something that should define a good movie or a bad movie for me, but the fact that Peter Jackson directed it is pretty special. And it just makes me, I don't know, it makes me not like the movie more, but feel proud that the movie exists. I think that's a good way of putting it. And in terms of Peter Jackson doing that movie, I also kind of like it when Taika Waititi, is it Taika Waititi? I forget his exact name, does a movie. I like his movies. I wasn't a huge fan of Thor Love and Thunder. I ignored the reviews and watched it off my own bat because you know what? You should do that. And the other thing is, although it wasn't my cup of tea, one thing I did see with it, and I really appreciated, is that he had full creative license, full control. So as to say that he didn't get caught up with, there was no one saying, Tiger, do this, do that. It was his vision, what he wanted. And so I really, really liked that. Even though I didn't like Thor Love and Thunder, I liked the fact that it was his vision.